Hello, everybody. I'm Janice, and you're watching The Artist's Way Diaries, where every week I read a chapter and do whatever groundbreaking, life changing tasks the book tells me to do. What? Theoretically, if I complete the course, I will become a better artist. Mentally. But let's talk about chapter 10, recovering a sense of self protection, meaning that we tend to have these toxic behavioral patterns that get in the way of our creativity. And we do that because it's comforting, because we're used to it, and it's distracting us from how we really feel about moving forward. And that is fear. The examples given from this book are workaholism, drought, and competition. Sometimes you would say stuff like you're busy, but that's just sort of a way for you to mask the fact that you don't really want to do or pursue your creative endeavors. You probably think that your creative work outside of work is a waste of time. It makes you unproductive when in reality, you need rest, you need hobbies. This is good for you. Just do it. Okay. As for drought, it means that at some point, or there are days where you don't feel like doing whatever it is you want to do. And for that, the only antidote, which is probably the kind you don't want to hear, is to show up anyway. You just have to be disciplined about it. But the good news is, this is the time where you can just take it slow. You can just do the bare minimum because bare minimum is better than not doing it at all. Tiny changes are still changes if you do it consistently. That reminds me of Atomic Habits. A healthy competition is good, but I think the book talks more about comparing yourself with others, which is not a good thing. So I think you already know what to do. Stay in your lane. Make a quick list of things you love, happiness touchstones for you. Quality time with God, that makes me happy. Spending time with my dogs, that makes me happy. YouTube, books, if they're good, of course. Movies, music. What else makes me happy? Ooh, I like writing stuff down. I like to make lists and plan stuff. I don't know, okay? Anyway, let's head on to chapter 11. In short, it basically talks about how we should unapologetically be ourselves. We should accept that we are peculiar in our own way if we stand out amongst the crowd. That's not a bad thing. We have our own strengths, we have our own weaknesses. Own it. Own it. For the sake of this video, I'd like to keep the explanation of each chapter short. So if you want a more elaborate summary, you can head on to the description. I have the summary of the book chapter by chapter. I noticed that a bunch of you clicked the link, which is I never thought anyone would click on the link, but some of you did, and thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate you. You know what? Why don't I say what I want to say out loud and you write it down for me? Yeah? Dear Janice, you are one dynamite gal. I don't know. Alright, how about this? Dear Janice. Wow. I am so. This is so weird. Remember that time when you are too scared to make YouTube videos because you have this fear that people will judge you? And now look at you. You're making YouTube videos. Isn't that great? You're brave. Do you know what bravery means? Have you read Coraline? Do you know what the dad of Coraline say? He says that true bravery is when you're scared, but you do it anyway. You're scared of making YouTube videos, didn't you? And now look at you. Did you write that down? Okay, let's head on to the last chapter of this book. Finally, for those of you control freaks, you have to learn how to let go of control. There's this picture that shows what areas you can control and what areas are outside of your control, as in, you don't have the ability to control that God can, not you. And because of that, the only thing you can do for the things you cannot control is to take a leap of faith. Now let's get on to the task, shall we? Final task of this book. I have this resistance to make videos that are more, I guess, cinematic because I don't have enough gear for that. I don't have a lot in my arsenal. I use my phone to record stuff. I use my phone to edit stuff. I use my phone to publish. That's not true. I use my laptop. But yeah, I have that fear because what if it doesn't turn out great? I have that tiny bit of fear constantly, but the way I deal with that is I think about the scene in Spider-Man Homecoming where Tony confiscates Peter's Spider-Man suit because he didn't obey the rules or something. And Peter's like,
And the thing is, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay?
does that not hit you hard? So I like to think of Tony's Spider-Man suit as those professional gears. And I like to think of my phone as Peter's homemade Spider-Man suit. And at some point, if you can upgrade, you should. But if that's all you have, then don't let that get in the way of saving the world. Wow. I I This is why you watch many movies, okay? You learn from movies. That concludes The Artist's Way Diaries. I can't believe it's ended. The message in there is great. The problem is, for me, it has a lot of fluff. It sounds woo-woo-y. I think I mentioned that before in the previous videos. For me, I would prefer getting similar messages of that from other books. Like, for example, Austin Kleon's, I guess, art trilogy. There's Steal Like an Artist, Show Your Work, and Keep Going. If you prefer a more concise explanation of The Artist's Way, I feel like you can benefit more reading the trilogy that I just told you. However, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't read The Artist's Way. I feel like what makes The Artist's Way great from the other books that I told you, yes, it's packed with messages, but it also makes you take action from those lessons. The Artist's Way teaches you how to become a better artist, but not in a technical aspect, but in terms of your mindset. It can transform you from someone who's scared of failure, scared of what other people think about you. Maybe you have perfectionism, maybe you have negative affirmations, you tend to compare yourself with others, you're struggling with jealousy. This book can turn that around. Well, at least it can help you a little bit. I guess in a way, this book can be categorized as self-help. For example, there's this chapter of the book, I think it's chapter 8, where it talks about failure. The thing about failure is that there's no way around it. If you want to succeed, you have to fail. Way too many times even. Failure is not the end of the journey, it's more like stepping stones that lead you to success. For example, if you have been with me on this journey from the very beginning, I love you. Can you please comment, whoever you are? I appreciate you. I love and appreciate you. I don't know if you can tell, but from the very beginning, I did not know what I was doing. And because the majority of the content revolving around The Artist's Way is more like summaries, I put diaries in the series, but I treat it as a chapter summary. That's why in the beginning it's more like, like a boring summary. You know what? I admit it. It's kind of boring. In the beginning, I made them as if people already know what The Artist's Way Diaries is. So because of that, I never really introduced what the series is. And I feel like people, when they click on the video, they're confused. As time goes on, I experimented a lot. At first, it was just me talking, and then I tried incorporating vlogs. At one point, I've lost interest in making the series. I don't know if it shows. The whole time I was like, you know what, let's just get it over with. But now that it's ending. But overall, I am grateful to have made the series. I am very grateful to have gone through this course. I hope that I can come out of this course a better content creator, exclusively on YouTube. I don't want to say YouTuber. It's weird. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what the future holds for this channel. I have some exciting new projects coming up. I can't wait to show you. If you have any video ideas, feel free to comment. I would love to hear it. And if I like the idea, I'd make the video. And then I give you credit because you've been very helpful. Thank you for sticking around with me in this journey. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.